Today, we will discuss the 34th session, the merit of chanting Guru Padmasambhava's mantra and Avalokiteshvara's mantra. When you have perfected your own benefit, you need to transmit the Dharma, bestow empowerments, and so on for others. Before you are able to directly engage in benefiting others, if we can truly bring benefit, expounding the sutras, speaking the Dharma, and bestowing empowerments and transmissions are all very good. Before you have reached this level of realization, if you go to high mountains, steep cliffs, or plateaus, you can use a melodious tone to chant the mantras of Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara, and Guru Padmasambhava. Sometimes it might be on some high mountains. Of course, places with fewer people are better. Otherwise, if you shout loudly when there are crowds of people, especially on some high mountains where people have no faith, I do not know, they might wonder what you are doing. But truly, if it is a place with fewer people and you chant Avalokiteshvara's mantra or Guru Padmasambhava's mantra in this way, this is very necessary. All sentient beings who hear it will have the doors to rebirth in the lower realms blocked, and they will be reborn in pure lands. We frequently recite some of Avalokiteshvara's mantra and Guru Rinpoche's mantra. If you have a good voice, then go to the mountaintop, and you should open your throat and sing to your heart's content. Perhaps ethnic minorities love to sing and dance. Previously, Gao Xiaosong said that the people of the Han region are not particularly skilled at singing and dancing, but later, many people online also criticized him. Regardless, perhaps ethnic minorities in various places have all kinds of singing and dancing. Especially in the Tibetan region, they frequently sing Avalokiteshvara's mantra. Even when herding from the distant mountains, one can frequently hear the elegant singing of the nomads. It is especially beautiful to hear, including when circumambulating the mandala and the mountains. But now, it seems the nomads are becoming fewer and fewer. The yaks are also becoming fewer. There used to be a great many yaks. Yaks would frequently come to visit the tops of the houses. But now, it seems that truly, perhaps many Tibetan nomads nowadays have moved into the cities to work there. They have abandoned this lifestyle that has lasted for hundreds and thousands of years. Therefore, looking at it from Larangar the other day, I took a walk around my area. In the past, so many yaks would come, a particularly large number. Nowadays, especially last year and this year, on the one hand, we might have a green fence outside, but this fence is basically already completely broken. It should not pose any obstacle to the yaks. However, perhaps the nearby nomads' yaks have all been slaughtered or something. The nomads' singing is even more non-existent. Many want to make money, so they cannot bring themselves to sing. With the pandemic occurring these past few years, there is even less opportunity to sing. Everyone knows, according to the tradition of Patrul Rinpoche and Lama Lodro, when transmitting and listening to the Buddha Dharma, first, the conch shell is blown before the Sangha gathers. We still do this now. Those listening to the Dharma would chant Guru Rinpoche's mantra as they walked into the Dharma hall. At our institute, His Holiness also mentioned this several times in the past. But singing Guru Padmasambhava's mantra as they come. Basically, even when His Holiness was alive, this did not happen, and it certainly does not happen now. In the past, with Lama Lodro and the others, as soon as the conch shell was blown from their homes, they would chant Om Ahang Benza Guru. Everyone would sing as they entered. But our Larangar has always been such that no one sings when they arrive. And also, when we conclude here, the chant leader recites it 3 times, and everyone else is also very well behaved, only reciting it 3 times. Om Ahang Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. And that's it. Actually, the people below could recite it a little bit. However, perhaps for us now, it is better that it is not very conspicuous. In the past, if required to recite it, people were reluctant to recite. Those listening to the Dharma walk into the Dharma hall while chanting Guru Rinpoche's mantra. At the end of the Dharma transmission, with us reciting Sonam di yi tamshe rapamne, topne nyepe draknam pamjate. Concluding with that verse, If there is no question and answer session, then we chant Guru Padmasambhava's mantra. In this way, all your illnesses, demons, and adverse circumstances in this lifetime will rely on it to be completely pacified. In the next life, you will also be reborn on the glorious copper-colored mountain in the luminous pure land of Guru Padmasambhava. Whether it is being reborn in the pure land of ultimate bliss, or being reborn in Guru Padmasambhava's pure land. Actually, we are still reciting this part at the end. Regardless, though we do not recite it much, we have always been reciting it, right? Reciting in this way dispels adverse circumstances and dispels illnesses and demons. It is indeed true. I also think that for so many years, being able to maintain our classes, this is very difficult to achieve, honestly speaking. Now I am completely satisfied. Truly. On one hand, it is because we invoke the Dharma protectors every day. On the other hand, it is because we follow the Guru's tradition. Perhaps reciting these brings Guru Rinpoche's blessing. Otherwise, over such a long period of time, there have consistently been no adverse circumstances. Occasionally, we might pause for a little bit or change the schedule slightly. This is normal. It happened in the past too. Actually, just as I said yesterday, our ascetic practice nowadays is not about lacking food or drink. It should be a different kind of ascetic practice, another kind of ascetic practice for practitioners in a special era. When Orjin Rinpoche was residing in Mangyu Gungtang at the time, at the place where he was about to depart for the land of the Rakshasas, when he gave many teachings to the king and ministers, he once also said, "If you pray to me, Guru Padmasambhava has not gone anywhere. As long as everyone has faith, there will certainly be a Guru Rinpoche in front of them." Not only Guru Padmasambhava, Buddha Shakyamuni is also like this. As long as we visualize, this mental engagement is itself Guru Padmasambhava. Therefore, Guru Padmasambhava abides right in front of us. Through our devout prayers, we will obtain boundless blessings and siddhis. In here, the syllabus topic says Avalokiteshvara's mantra and Guru Rinpoche's mantra, but there is not too much about Avalokiteshvara's mantra. That is fine too. Just pray to Guru Padmasambhava. If we pray to Guru Padmasambhava, it truly dispels many, many adverse circumstances. Next, we will discuss the merit of the Avalokiteshvara prayer wheel. All the lay people in the assembly should each obtain a prayer wheel. At that time, it must have been His Holiness in 1999 or whenever. Karma Chagme Rinpoche's The Merit of the Prayer Wheel. When I translated that at the time, I remember it was the year 2000. It feels like it happened yesterday, yet it has already been 22 years. You can read it later. It is the one I translated back then. At that time, during the Sukhavati Dharma assembly, His Holiness taught it once. Perhaps this excerpt was taken from that audio recording. At that time, His Holiness said, "You lay people, it is best if each of you obtains a prayer wheel, and turn it as much as possible." In ancient times, there were an especially large number of prayer wheels in the Tibetan region, but in the late 1992, His Holiness perhaps promoted it. After he taught on it a few times back then, suddenly, whether in our Tibetan region or the Han region, people in all places began to use prayer wheels. After the Cultural Revolution, for a period of time, essentially no one used prayer wheels, but later, both the Tibetan region and the Han region began again. It could be considered a period of revival. It is taught in texts like the 21 Sutras and Tantras of Avalokiteshvara that the merit of the Avalokiteshvara mantra prayer wheel is inconceivable. Previously, Dale Kunchok Gyaltsen and others, he was a D-log from the Golok area. He should be from not too long ago, a D-log from that time. He spoke a lot about the Bardo realm. In these teachings and others, it states, among those who use the prayer wheel of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara's mantra, not a single one is reborn in the lower realms or wanders in the Bardo. Therefore, everyone should exert their utmost effort to turn the prayer wheel of Avalokiteshvara's mantra. You must turn this. Thus you see, if we turn the prayer wheel more now, then in the lower realms, Many D-logs and those with clairvoyance have never seen people who frequently use prayer wheels experiencing suffering in the lower realms. This is very important. Some of us are very afraid of falling into the lower realms, right? When it comes to not being reborn in the three lower realms, and fundamentally being reborn as humans, gods, or asuras, these are all quite difficult. But if you take the king of mantras, the six-syllable mantra, as your yidam, and then make it into a handheld prayer wheel to turn, you will not fall into cyclic existence again. This point is exceptionally important for you all. Not falling into the three lower realms, and not falling into the three higher realms either. If relying on the merit of the prayer wheel prevents one from falling, then for every one of us, this should be something we dream of seeking. It is exceptionally important. Regarding our prayer wheels, His Holiness said this at the time. They also cover a wide area across many countries overseas. At the time, it seemed that devotees in the UK, the US, including India, devotees in several countries, were constantly using this prayer wheel. People call it the Larangar prayer wheel. Later on, it was turned into a commodity. Actually, being a commodity is quite good. If some Buddhist items had not been commercialized, they might not have had a prolonged lifespan. In the future, for us, including certain Dharma texts, and including certain Buddha statues, some people say, selling Buddha statues carries great faults. On one hand, there might be some faults, but on the other hand, if it becomes a commodity that people desire, there is exchange, there is demand. With demand, there are buyers and sellers, and its continuation will not be broken. Therefore, later it must have been that in various places there were all kinds of prayer wheels. We also continuously make some prayer wheels to create karmic connections with others. This is very important. It is extremely popular. In Lhasa and other Tibetan regions, as well as the Han region, its proliferation is also extremely widespread. Do not sever your own karmic connection. The source of this prayer wheel is also pure. The quantity of mantras in it is considerable. Moreover, it has been consecrated by over 10,000 monastics. At that time, when we were at the Lay Practitioners Center, there were likely quite a lot of monastics from various places. It was consecrated while His Holiness was still alive. When a person is dying, if you place a prayer wheel above their pillow, it can completely serve the function of liberation for the deceased. In the future, when some of our fellow beings die, it may not be certain that someone can be found to perform the liberation practice. If you truly cannot find anyone, and you feel that you yourself are incapable, placing my prayer wheel on the pillow. When others, Dharma friends, pass away, if there is no one nearby to assist with recitation, if there is no one to do this, place the prayer wheel beside their pillow. This is His Holiness's Vajra speech. We should be able to rely on this basis. It serves the function of liberation. They will not fall into the lower realms. In addition, it can also serve as an ultimate protection amulet. Carrying a prayer wheel is also a protection amulet. It can protect you from enemies, bandits, robbers, thieves, and also pandemics, and so forth. In the next life, you can also be reborn in the pure land of ultimate bliss. There is nothing better than this. Everyone should generate a great aspiration. There is nothing in the world that cannot be accomplished through effort. This is absolutely not a trivial, insignificant matter. For you all, it holds great benefits for this life and the next. This time, this prayer wheel contains approximately 80 to 100,000 Avalokiteshvara mantras. It's probably this one. Recently, I have also made one here, which combines the Sutra of Great Liberation with Avalokiteshvara's mantra. We will see how it turns out. It should be quite well made, having taken about a year or so. Therefore, please obtain a prayer wheel. Turn the prayer wheel. Do not put it under your blankets, and do not turn it horizontally, for example, in unclean places. Also, do not step over the prayer wheel. Normally, keep it in a clean place. This is very important. Some of us seem to, when getting up, throw the prayer wheel on the ground. This is very bad. This prayer wheel is the true Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. Therefore, we should have even more faith in the prayer wheel. It seems there is no one who hasn't brought a prayer wheel, right? I request that before and after class, you all hold a prayer wheel. Okay.
Om